Hello YouTube, and welcome to my unboxing video for the Landsknechts with Zweihändler Landsknechts with Zweihänders by Warlord Games for their pike and shot range, specifically the Italian Wars. This is something I've picked up because A, I haven't had a Warlord Games kit yet, and I was curious to know what they're like, and B, I thought they could be interesting to use for kit bashing into my Kingdoms of Men army for Kings of War, and possibly using the same. So you get 24 hard plastic and metal Landsknecht infantry in this box, and this is quite a nice box front, I will say. The Warlord there. On the back here, you can see my box has got a bit scuffed up in the post as well. Thanks, Amazon. Humph. So, you got some pictures on the back here of them. You got them with, what's that, with pole arms by the looks of it. They be pole arms or pikes? I don't know. Components to make 24 Landsknechts with two-handed swords and halberds. Okay. And it's got plastic bases. That's what it is. They're halberds or two-handed swords that they've got. It's got some interesting little bit of text on the back here. Europe in the late 15th and early 16th centuries was a place of almost constant warfare. With no organised national armies, battlefields were the domain of the mercenary companies of the day. Chief amongst these were the colourfully dressed Landsknechts. Landsknechts were instigated by the Holy Roman Emperor Maximilian I as a reaction to the Swiss mercenary pikemen that had dominated battlefields for decades before the Italian Wars. They would be found in most armies in Western Europe of the time, even appearing in the British Isles in the service of Henry VIII. Clashes between rival Landsknecht regiments were particularly bloody, becoming known as a bad war. The toughest of a rough bunch were the veteran Doppelsuldner, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, soldiers on double pay. Their extra payment was due to volunteering to fight in the front ranks, an inherent risk that entitled. The trick was surviving to claim the extra pay. Doppelsoldner would most often be armed with the ranged arquebus or crossbow and arrayed in front of the main block of pikemen. Alternatively, they may be armed with the vicious 6-foot-long two-handed swords, the Zweihänders, or equally long halberds. So I'm guessing these are supposed to be like the extra tough dudes. I'm not going to read the rest of that because I keep butchering the German words, and I'm sure there's someone watching right now who's going to kill me if I keep carrying on. So, let's get into the unboxing. So we've got the bases here, just simple plastic squares. Got some, well, those look like 20mm, and then some 2x4. Is that a 2x8 or 2x6? And then that'll be a 4x4 plastic base by Warlord Games. Now, look at the minis themselves. Have a look at the sprues here. So these are the Landsknecht with Zweihänders, 12 halberds. So these are the halberds here, are metal arms they've given us. We've got metal halberds, or... Ooh, I've just seen something. So we've got metal halberds. That's what the metal parts are, just some halberds. They've actually got spears. They've got pikes or something there, which is interesting. So you get 2 sprues with pikes on, and 2 sprues with Zweihänders. Yeah, okay. That gives me even more options, although, much like a lot of true scale 28mm, these are very flimsy pikes, and I don't know if I'd want to use them for my army. But let's look at these sprues. So, Zweihänder sprue. Look at the heads first. So, some nice looking heads here. I've heard these are really good for kit-bashing Empire miniatures for the Old World and Warhammer Fantasy because of their sort of similar aesthetic. And I can see why, definitely, looking at them. You can see these being empirical miniatures. There's the long pike arms there. And you've got their extra arms, and then sort of a rifle there, rifle arm there. Presumably that arm goes with that. And then you've got sort of sword scabbards and feathers and decorations, some pouches there. And then the sprue with the Zweihänders. Looks like the heads... Yeah, the heads are the same. So you've got the same heads, presumably the same bodies. Yep, those look the same to me. So it's really just the swords that comes down. So there's the Zweihander swords there. They actually feel fairly sturdy. I might use them for some men-at-arms or footmen with double weapons or something. It might be quite interesting. And they look quite small as well. I'll have to compare them to some Victrix and see how they match up and stuff. This box was packed for you by Mirella. Oh, thank you, Mirella. And let's just have a quick look at these halberds as well. Ooh. So a bit bent out of shape, but quite nice. Nice looking stuff, certainly. If I want to use them, probably won't. Save those for another time, if I actually need and want halberds. Oh, these were packed by someone else. Hold on. Christina. Oh, thank you, Christine, for packing my halberds. Alright. So, let's get building, and then we'll have a look at some historical miniatures in comparison. So, I built one the pikeman, and interesting enough, here's a Victrix mini, as you can see. And this is one of their pikemen. He's a little small, isn't he? He's a little short boy. Head-wise, the heads look about the same. I think it's more... it's kind of hard to tell. Proportionally, they're definitely slightly smaller than Victrix miniatures are, for sure. There's no doubt about that one. And you can see standing next to him, and I've kind of raised him up as well on some blue tack. He definitely looks slightly smaller. And I'd be interested to see how well I can use the Zweihander arms on some Victrix minis. I'll have to see how that works out. So, going back to comparing scale. So again, we've got our Warlord Games Landsknechts, Landsknechto dude here. We've got some, these are Victrix Germanic warriors, Dark Age Germanic warriors here. And then obviously our Victrix dude from the late Saxons Anglo-Dane set. And then on the right here, we've got, this is one of the Bretonian men-at-arms, I think. Yeah, Bretonian men-at-arms here for scale. So, obviously, again, proportions-wise, the hands and the weapons are going to be not the right scale for Games Workshop models or heroic scale models. Interestingly, the Victrix ones again are a bit bigger proportions-wise, I'd say. Although it feels like the heads may be slightly oversized on these guys. I don't know. The biggest definitely feels like this chap here on the right, but I don't know if that's to do with the base, or I know some of the Victrix kits are a bit bigger in scale, some of them are a bit smaller, it depends when they were made. But to be honest, again, it's one of those things where at a distance on the tabletop, I'd personally probably be happy with some of these guys mixed in with Empire dudes or whatever. And I reckon it's something I can make work. I was looking at arm options. The slight issue might be how thin the bodies are, because they are kind of thin, as you can see. And they've got very small sockets, so I'll see what I can do with arm swaps. So, coming back, in the centre here is a dude who's got a Landsknechts body and head, and these arms are from the late Anglo-Saxons kit by Victrix. On the left is just a full late Anglo-Saxon, one of the ones in chainmail armour, and on the right is obviously our regular pikeman. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, scale-wise, again, it's not terrible with the Victrix stuff. It is really when you get to the Warhammer, Old World and Fantasy models. Try and stand this guy up if I can. Kind of wish I'd popped him on a base now. Stand up. There we go. So when you get to these guys where obviously the hand and stuff come into play, but again, kind of stick them all, mix them in a regiment. Obviously not these guys all together, because I think the main difference is the type of armour they're wearing. So this guy's wearing chainmail, he's wearing obviously Landsknechts style, he's Landsknechts style. This is whatever Bretonians wear. I wouldn't mix these guys into a unit, but if I had some armour that was a bit lighter looking for this kit, I'd probably mix some of those guys in with these guys, probably, and be quite happy with that. I will say this guy kind of looks like he should be in Blood Bowl with that helmet, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. As far as these spears go, these pikeman spears, they're quite long. I might shorten this down and use them for spear phalanxes. Not sure. I originally got these pole arms because I wanted to have thicker spears, heroically sized thicker spears, but I'm not quite sure now what I want to do, really. But that's all the fun of this kind of kit bashing process, is you get things and you kind of look at them and go, okay, back to the drawing board. But it'll certainly be interesting having these guys as options for parts in my Kings of War, Kingdoms of Men army. And also these Bretonians here, which I've done a separate unboxing video on, which I may have uploaded by now, I'm not sure, but I'll find out. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video where I looked at the Landsknechts by Warlord Games. Thank you for watching, and if you did like the video, please do leave a like, leave your comments down below, your thoughts on the Zweihänder kits, the Landsknechts Zweihänder kit. Again, apologies if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Let me know as well of any kits that you think I might be interested in for this Kings of War, Kingdoms of Men army project, or for Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, Old World, anything like that. Just drop it down below, and if it's something that I'm interested in, I'll give it a look. I'm definitely interested in the Oathmark range a bit more. Got some human infantry on the way, and the Frostgrave range as well has sort of caught my eye, so I'll definitely be checking some of those out in the future, I think. And don't forget to subscribe as well for more wargaming content. I'm mainly doing sort of Kings of War and Warhammer, the Old World, and Age of Sigmar, kind of that area, that fantasy area at the moment. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.